Aspect ratios are a curious visual quirk in the visual storytelling format. From a logistical point of view, it is the size of the frame a story is presented in, depending on whether it will be shown on the television or cinema. While it can be treated as arbitrary, it is incredibly important due to the era a piece of media is created in and the purpose a filmmaker chooses one for in the first place. Storytellers have experimented with aspect ratios and their effect on stories for as long as color theory has been in the silent era. For example, the 1927 Napoleon used 3 cameras stationed side by side to create the widescreen effect on the 4:3 frame to highlight the scale of his armies. More modern examples of aspect ratios being used to add to the storytelling include The Lighthouse, which creates a claustrophobic environment where the characters are trapped, a ghost story presented as if it were a Polaroid, a snapshot of the central character's life held in stasis till he comes to acceptance and moving on. The Life of Chuck shifts the aspect ratio to show the wonder of the world experienced by Chuck and the possibilities open to him during the 3 stages of his life. Zack Snyder's Justice League focuses on the superheroes' larger-than-life nature, their stature filling the frame as if they are ideals to aspire to, despite the quality of the story. As television today is standardized to 16:9, older media no longer fills the frame as it once did, when 4:3 was the standard, and so there is either the option to leave the original in its intended format, or edit the footage so the television frame is filled instead of leaving screen real estate unused. On the latter method, it may seem inconsequential to edit older media this way. However, the method by which this is done is quite important. The edits to Who Shot Mr. Burns Part 1 from The Simpsons and the pilot episode of One Tree Hill will be used to highlight these differences. In One Tree Hill, the screen has been expanded as per the filming of the original footage, where the raw 16:9 was cropped to 4:3 for the purposes of broadcast. The latest version of the show has the cropped footage reinserted, highlighted by the fact, on occasion, crew members would appear on the sides of the frame, where in the original broadcast they would not be present. In The Simpsons, due to how it was produced at the time, such restoration is not possible, and so in order to fit the entire 16:9 screen, rather than restoring previously cropped footage, the top and bottom of the frame are cropped out, meaning, while the entire frame is filled, the viewer has lost visual information originally in the frame. This is best noted in Part 1 of Who Shot Mr. Burns, where Maggie's reaction to Mr. Burns challenging the citizens of Springfield is absent, meaning a critical piece of the story is ripped out. On the surface, filling the entire screen can seem valuable as there is no wasted screen real estate. However, when edited as The Simpsons was, meaningful context is lost, leaving the viewer with a lesser yarn as a result. The aspect ratio plays a subtle and notable part of the storytelling medium often overlooked as arbitrary, and as creators further experiment with the visual medium as already highlighted, even the size of the screen the story is presented in can mean much in the context of the yarn, and editing pre-existing media in an irresponsible manner is a disservice to the medium as a whole.